Okay, so your value criterion is national self-interest. Is that correct?
Yes.
So does that mean that a nation can do whatever it should do? It should do whatever it can to help itself. Is that correct?
No, it means that a nation's first priority is to protect the rights of its own citizens before it looks to the rights of people.
Okay, so basically, would that mean preventing any forms of rights violations to its own citizens before worrying about other people's?
It's a weighing mechanism, which means that the impacts of a citizen's own country should be weighed above impacts outside.
All right, so basically, in all circumstances, always worry about your own people before worrying about others. Is that correct?
It depends on the circumstance. For example,
So there are exceptions. Is that what you're saying?
In this debate, we have to look to the rights of citizens within a country, but that it's a weighing mechanism. It doesn't mean that there can be incredibly detrimental impacts outside of the country, but it means that first we have to look to that it increases.
So basically, yes, we should look towards the individual country's citizens first before worrying about the rest of the world.
Yes.
Okay, so in that case, would that mean that a country would be allowed to, say, kill off the entire population of the rest of the world, so that way only itself can sustain? Because, I mean, every other country is a threat towards its national security.
We have to talk about how this value criterion plays out in the round, not talk about the value criterion in the entire world.
But in that situation, would you agree with that, or would you disagree with that policy?
I would disagree with that.
Okay, so therefore there are exceptions to the sole concept of national self-interest. Is that correct?
You're misunderstanding national self-interest, which is that countries have an obligation to protect their own citizens' rights, but they also have to think of the greater good, but that their citizens' rights are prioritized.
So therefore, then, in that case, it's always about maximizing the rights throughout the world. Is that correct?
No, it's not correct. It's that...
Well, I mean, in that case, their own citizens weigh out more, but overall, still maximizing the overall amount of rights in the world. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, cool. So, now moving on, your contention 1. Would you restate your contention 1's tagline?
Okay, enforcement of environmental policies would impede economic development of the nation.
Okay, so is development of the economy critical towards a nation?
Is it critical towards a nation?
Yes.
It depends.
So there are instances where it's not critical for a nation?
That there are different priorities in a
Okay,
nation.
so there are different priorities. So does that mean that we don't always have to look towards the idea of boosting an economy?
It means that we have to look to the impacts of boosting an economy.
Okay, so you're looking at the effects of boosting the economy then. Is that correct? So therefore, would you say that in the end, you still want to better the lives of the people overall through increasing the economy?
Yeah, well, I'm using the protection of the economy and how it directly...
Okay, so basically improving lifestyle. All right. So your subpoint B says that it will help equality. Is that correct?
It reduces income inequality.
Okay, so reducing income inequality. Do you have any true stats showing that that is occurring currently?
Yeah, if you look to my card Taylor, the number of poor individuals increases 4.2% and inequality increases 2.4% without natural resource income.
Is that a model or is that actually in real life?
It's a study of over 100 countries that rely on resources.
Could I just quickly add on to that real quick?
Times. I mean...
All right, so basically, was that a model or is that actually in real life? We see this.
It's an actual in real life.
Okay.